Welcome to the new session, children. Today we are going to deal with a new topic, acids, bases and salts. We eat different kinds of substances every day. These substances can be grouped and divided into two types depending on physical and chemical properties. Depending on chemical properties, substances can be divided into acids, bases and salts. Substances which we eat every day taste sour, bitter, sweet, salt, etc. This sour and bitter taste to the substances is because of the chemicals present in them. The main objectives of this lesson we are going to deal today is define acids, bases and salts. We differentiate between acids and bases. We get to know the uses of common acids, bases and salts. Define indicators. Explain neutralization and explain pH value. Acids. Acids are the substances which have sour in taste. We eat different kinds of foods every day like lemon, curd, ginger, right? Apples, tomatoes, spinach, right? They taste sour because of the presence of acids in them. The word acid comes from the Latin word acidus, meaning sour. You can see here, children, there are different types of acids in different food substances. If you see lemon is sour in taste because of the presence of an acid called as citric acid. Tomato, oxalic acid. In grapes and tamarind, we find tartaric acid. Milk and curd, we have lactic acid. Ants, formic acid. Apple, malic acid. And in vinegar we find acetic acid. Yeah. Now we'll discuss about types of acids. Acids can be divided into organic acids and mineral acids. Acids that occur naturally in food items are called as organic acids. We have seen in the previous slide, right? Vinegar in acetic acid in vinegar, malic acid in apple, citric acid in milk and curd, oxalic acid in tomato and spinach. We see these acids are naturally present in food items. Such kind of acids which occur naturally are called as organic acids. Mineral acids. Acids that are prepared from minerals or chemical substances that occur on the earth are called as mineral acids. Examples of mineral acids are hydrochloric acid. We write the formula of hydrochloric acid as HCl, sulfuric acid, H2SO4 and nitric acid. Yeah. So organic acids and mineral acids. Acids which occur naturally are called as organic acids, and acids which are prepared by using chemicals are called as mineral acids. Organic acids, as they occur naturally, they are weak acids. They are weak acids, and mineral acids, as they are made by using chemicals existing on the earth, these mineral acids are strong acids. Now we'll discuss about properties of acids. Acids are sour to taste. We see here different food items, children, orange, lemon, right? Different types of food items which are sour to taste. They are highly corrosive in nature. What do you mean by corrosive? You can see here the symbol of corrosive, right? They are corrosive in nature. Corrosive means slowly tending to destroy by reacting chemically. corrosive means which destroys slowly by undergoing chemical reaction is called as corrosive. So acids are corrosive in nature and they dissolve in water. Acids dissolve in water. Now, let us discuss about uses of acids. Acids help us in our day-to-day life. First, we discuss about hydrochloric acid, HCl. This hydrochloric acid is used to clean our sinks and sanitary ware. It is also used to remove rust from boilers. What is the meaning of boiler, children? You can see here in the picture. You can see in the picture here the image of boilers. Boilers are used in factories and industries to boil water and to get the steam which can be used to run machines in factories and industries. So these boilers get rust inside after continuous usage. So to remove the deposits or rust from inside of the boilers, even we use hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is also used in the manufacture of food additives, in leather industry, etc. Sulfuric acid. Next we discuss about sulfuric acid. The chemical formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4. It is called king of chemicals. Of all the chemicals, sulfuric acid is called as king of chemicals. It is used in the car batteries. You can see in the picture, children. Sulfuric acid is used in our car batteries. It is also used in paints, drugs, dyes industry. It is used in paper and mobile industries to refine petrol. In the manufacture of fertilizers also, sulfuric acid is used in the production of nylon. Even sulfuric acid is used in the production of nylon. Even to remove rust from automobiles, that is, I already discussed it. Next, nitric acid. Nitric acid is used to purify gold and silver. Even it is also used for cleaning floors and windows. Even nitric acid is used in the synthesis of fertilizers. Next we discuss about bases. Bases are the substances that are bitter to taste. Right. Examples: calcium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, etc. Coming to properties of bases. We have seen properties of acid that they are sour in taste. Bases are bitter to taste. They are slippery to touch. When you touch, you might have observed the soap. When you touch soap, yeah, you observe it slippery. Your detergents and your soap, when you touch, right, they appear very slippery in nature. Bases are slippery in nature. These bases, as we discussed in acids, they are soluble in water. Whereas bases may dissolve in water or may not dissolve in water. Bases that can dissolve in water are called as alkalis. Examples of the bases that dissolve in the water are potassium hydroxide. Now we will discuss about uses of bases. Calcium hydroxide. Yeah. Calcium hydroxide is used to neutralize acidity in the soil. When acidity level increases in the soil, we use a base called calcium hydroxide. Chunna. In Hindi we say chunna. And coming to next, It is also used in whitewash and mortar, used in construction work. Mortar we use for constructing purpose, and whitewash we all know it is used to paint our walls. Then magnesium hydroxide. Yeah. Many times you have observed your parents and grandparents, right? Some problem of acidity in the stomach, increased of acidity level in the stomach. As we discussed in our second chapter, that in our stomach we have hydrochloric acid, right children? This hydrochloric acid, when becomes excess in the stomach, it is very mild. It is present in a mild quantity in our stomach. When these hydrochloric acid become excess in our stomach, right, we call it as acidity, and it leads to pain in the stomach and burning sensation. So we reduce the pain. To reduce the effect of that acidity in the stomach, we take a base called as magnesium hydroxide, also called milk of magnesia. You can see here children, right? Antacids. Generally we have seen ENO, right? Yeah, whenever there is a problem of acidity in the stomach, we take normally ENO, right? There are different types of antacids available in the shops. Antacids, right? So which reduce the acidity level in the stomach are called as antacids. General example we see in our daily life, ENO, right? So magnesium hydroxide can be used as an antacid to correct the increased level of acidity in the stomach. Next, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is used in the manufacture of paper. It is also used in the manufacture of soaps and detergents. You can see here now we have discussed about acids and bases. Acids are sour in taste, bases are bitter to taste. Acids are highly corrosive. Bases are slippery to touch, and bases may be corrosive or may not be corrosive. Acids are soluble in water. Bases may or may not be soluble in water. Now we can see in the picture children here the different food products which have acids, citrus fruits, right? In your vinegar, acetic acid, your milk, apples and all. Coming to bases, you can see here your soap, your detergents, your shampoo, your toothpaste, even your toothpaste also children. You can see here antacid tablets, yeah, cleaning purpose. Right, in soaps, in antacids, right, in shampoo, detergents, we find bases. Now, coming to the next topic, what are indicators? Right. See children, all the substances we cannot taste and say whether they are acidic or basic. If they are weak acids, that is organic acids, weak acids naturally occurring in food substances, sometimes we can taste and we can say whether it is acidic in nature, and sometimes we can say bases. But it is not safe every time all the acids and bases to taste and differentiate them as acids or bases. So we have a special type of chemical substances called as indicators to indicate whether a substance is acidic, basic or neutral. One of that substance is litmus paper, which is available in the shops. It is made from the plant called as lichens. Natural indicators. Litmus paper is a natural indicator made from the plant called as lichens. Even we can prepare natural indicators at home. As we have discussed in our class, turmeric paper, right? Indicator. It is one of the indicator. Turmeric paper, you take a paper and apply turmeric paste on that. Let it dry for some time. Then this turmeric paper can be used to identify whether a given substance is acid and a base. We have seen in our class by taking lemon juice and soap solution. Do you remember children? Yeah. We took the turmeric paper which can be used as a indicator to tell whether the given substance is acidic or a basic. We have taken lemon juice and we have taken soap solution. Right. So when this turmeric paper is dipped in the acids, It will not change its color. That shows that they are acids. And if the turmeric paper is dipped in the base, we have seen it turns into dark red color. When turmeric paper turns into a dark red color, it can be identified that they are bases. Right? Now you can see, children, in the picture, litmus paper. Yeah. So this litmus paper comes in two colors, blue and red. Litmus paper comes in two colors, blue and red. Right. So when litmus paper is dipped in acids, blue color changes into red. If blue color paper changes into red, they are acids. So remember, acids changes litmus paper blue to red. Whereas when you dip bases, red color litmus paper changes into blue. You can see in the picture, children, here. You can see here, red paper, when you have dipped in the base, it has turned into blue. When red litmus paper turns into blue, when red litmus paper turns into blue, they are bases. When blue litmus paper once dipped in the acid, you observe in the picture, when blue litmus paper has dipped in the acid, they turn into red. Right. So when blue litmus paper is turned into red, they are acids. And when red litmus paper turns into blue, they are bases. So litmus indicators can be natural indicators or man-made. So we have seen here litmus paper and we have seen turmeric paper. These are natural indicators. Apart from this, even red cabbage leaves and even rose petals, China rose, hibiscus, right? Even you can take China rose hibiscus petals, dip in the water and boil for few minutes, right? And that can be used as a indicators. Now coming to man-made indicators which are used in the laboratories. Methyl orange and phenolphthalein. You can see here, children, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Right. So these methyl orange changes into pink color in acidic medium and changes into orange in basic medium. And phenolphthalein, it changes into colorless in acidic medium and pink in the basic medium. Now after coming to know how to identify whether the given substance is acidic or a basic, now if we want to find out how strong or weak an acid or a base is, we use a special type of paper called as universal indicator, which has a scale called pH scale, and the units on the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. You can see here, children, the units on the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. pH scale, which is universally used to identify whether the given substance is a strong acid or a strong base, or a weak acid or a weak base. Now you can see here 7 to 8. Yeah, even 7 also sometimes. You can see here 7 and 8 we find neutral. That means it is neither acidic nor basic. Examples, we can say water and milk. They are neither acidic nor basic. So if the scale shows 7 and 8, it means that the substance is neither acidic nor basic. Now you come into 6, 5, 4, 3. You see different colors and they are weak acids. That is organic acids. Lemon, vinegar, all. Now coming to 0, 1 or sometimes 2 also. 0, 1, 2 are very strong acids. When the color of the substance changes 0, 1, 2 like this orange, red, it means that they are highly acidic in nature. Example, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid. So 7 or 8, if you have the pH scale showing these colors, you can check on the pH scale that 7 and 8 are neutral. So the substance is If it is showing these colors, so the substance is neither acidic nor basic. Example, we can say water. And you come to 5, 6, 4, 3. Yeah, these colors, if they are showing, it means that they are weak acids. Example, lemon, oxalic acid, citric acid. Now coming to 0, 1 and 2, orange and red colors, if they are showing, they are highly acidic. Hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. Now coming to 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they are weak bases. Sodium bicarbonate, magnesium, milk of magnesia. That's what, because they are very weak. Milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide, because it is a very weak base. And baking soda also, which we use, right? Sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, which we use in our kitchen. Yeah. So baking soda, milk of magnesia, which is used in antacid, they are all weak bases, which range from 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. If our substance has changed to these colors 9, 10, 11, 12, it shows that they are weak bases. Example, milk of magnesia, that is magnesium hydroxide, which we used in antacid to reduce the acidity level. Now coming to 12, 13, 14, purple colors, blue to purple colors, highly basic, strong bases. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Now the next important topic of this chapter, neutralization. Right. So when acids reacts with bases to form salt and water, it is called as neutralization. You see here, acids combine with bases to form water and salt. This reaction is called as neutralization reaction. Example, sodium chloride, formula HCl. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Right, when these two undergo chemical reaction, yeah, sodium will displace chlorine from hydrogen and form NaCl. That is sodium chloride, our table salt, sodium chloride, which we use commonly. And along with that, it releases water. So when an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water, this kind of reaction is called as neutralization reaction. How these neutralization reactions help us in our day-to-day life? Yeah. These neutralization reaction can be useful in our everyday life. Soil treatment. How this neutralization reaction help in soil treatment? Right. So we all know that plants grow in neutral soil. That means it should not be neither acidic nor basic. It should be neutral. What do you mean by neutralization? Yeah, to reduce the effect of either acid and base when they combine each other. So here when acid and a base combine each other, they reduce their effect of each other. Neutralize meaning to reduce the effect of. Here children, neutralize meaning to reduce the effect of. So when acid reacts with a base, they reduce the effect of each other and they form salt and water. So how these neutralization reactions are helpful in our day-to-day life? In treating soil, mostly plants grow in neutral soil. Right. So when soil becomes too acidic because of dumping waste into the soil or because of pollution, when soil becomes too acidic, we add a base, right? And when soil becomes too basic, we add acid. The bases which are added to the soil mostly are calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, calcium oxide. Calcium oxide, CaO, which we get from the outer covering of the shells, calcium oxide, and calcium hydroxide, that is chunna, which we use for whitewashing our walls. Yeah, so when calcium oxide dissolve in water, we get calcium hydroxide, chunna. So calcium hydroxide can be used to the soil when soil becomes too acidic. Right. Now, insect sting. When bees sting, you might have observed, immediately it causes a burning sensation and you feel pain over there. This is because when an insect bites us, it releases an acid called as formic acid. Because of that formic acid, we feel pain over there. So, to reduce that effect of acid, we use a base. Generally, baking soda, which is available in our houses, we can apply baking soda, or else we can apply calamine lotion which has zinc carbonate. Now coming to indigestion, as we have already discussed, because of the excess acidity in the stomach, hydrochloric acid increases. So to reduce the effect of hydrochloric acid, we take magnesium hydroxide, milk of magnesia, commonly known as milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide, which is a base. So if we take magnesium hydroxide, which is a base, it reduces the effect of acidity level in our stomach. Now coming to factory waste. Yeah, you might have observed many times or gone near to the factories. When factories releases waste, it has lot of acids, right? In our house also we dump every day lot of waste, right children? In the same way, in factories also, after the activities, after manufacturing the products, lot of waste is released which is having too many acids. This factory waste is acidic in nature. So this acidic water, if it is directly disposed of into the rivers or any water bodies, it causes harm to the aquatic life by killing aquatic plants and animals. So before dumping this factory waste directly into the water bodies, bases are added to reduce the acidity in the factory waste. Last topic of the lesson, water of crystallization. In our general class, I showed you crystals of salt, right? So we observe salt in the form of crystals. We have normal powdery salt and even the salt which occurs in crystal form. This crystal form of the salt is because it has water molecules in them. Because of that, having water molecules, it is showing that shape and sometimes color. This having water molecules in the salts is called as water of crystallization, and such kind of salts are called as hydrated salts. Now, example, our crystal salt, we can say. These hydrated salts which have water molecules in them, on heating they lose their water molecules and they convert into anhydrous salts. Examples is copper sulfate crystals, CuSO4. If you see here children, the formula what we have written here is CuSO4, which is copper sulfate, which occurs in the crystal form, used in our science laboratories. I kept here 5 molecules of water. That means 1 molecule of copper sulfate has 5 molecules of water in them. So it is a hydrated salt. When this hydrated salt having water molecules in them is heated, it loses these water molecules and converts into anhydrous copper sulfate. Thank you children.